Hello, I'm Carey, and I'm joining the Ceremony Sisters for the Path of Heart's Delight, a month-long ceremony in May that starts tomorrow, May 3rd. All the info is at ceremonysisters.com, and to give you a little taste of what we're doing, I'm going to tell a story called The Grandmothers Danced a Bridge. And throughout the month of May, we'll be using the hawthorn tree as our touchstone, our guide. So we'll be exploring from the seed, which we'll go into during our first gathering, all about connecting to heart and source. And then we'll be moving on to the root, caretaking, tending, releasing old attachments, moving on to the thorn, which is all about energetic protections, protecting our desires and longings, exploring some of the not so fun feelings sometimes associated with longing, and then empowering our desires and our longings. Then the blossom, the fruits, letting it grow, the harvest, enjoying our desires, and then full circle to the berry, which is also the seed for the hawthorn tree. And that's where we'll be looking at planting new seeds, giving gifts, transfiguring ourselves within these newly identified and aligned with longings. So the grandmothers danced a bridge. To prepare you for this story, I want to tell you about true north, which we'll be looking at in the story. And, a compass points to magnetic north, and magnetic north is not a stagnant thing. It moves in relation to magnetic changes within the Earth's core. And apparently it's been moving at a significantly increased speed over the past decades. Now, true north refers to the unmoving geographic north, but we're going to use it a little bit different in this story. So imagine that you have an internal compass and it points to your higher self, the best version of you. This is what true north refers to in this story. And now imagine that somewhat unexpectedly, this internal true north shifted. Okay, it went from here to here. So super subtle, right? But enough that if you were still pointing here, you were no longer in internal alignment. So you couldn't keep doing your same old thing, pointing in your same old direction, because it wasn't the same old anymore. You had to find your true north again. So in the ending, true north shifted. And the grandmothers felt it. So they too shifted. Now, true north isn't a direction, it's an orientation, an alignment. So the grandmothers reoriented, they realigned, and each one felt a click right here in her heart chakra. The grandmothers clicked in, and there was a change in the air. It was subtle, almost imperceptible. It was like a breath on the grandmothers as they stood facing true north. It's like a blessing. And the grandmothers began to hum. Oh, oh. You can hum with me. I won't be able to hear you, but I will be able to feel you. Oh, oh. And their bodies vibrated with the hum, and there was a crumbling. Not really, but yes, really. A facade fell away, an illusion disintegrated. And in the distance, they saw a mountain. In fact, it had always been there, but now the grandmothers were attuned to its frequency. And they sang, ah, ah, and the mountain sang back, oh, oh, And the grandmothers began to lilt, to sway with the song. They started to move a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little bit this way, a little bit that, and their arms caressed the air, and the mountain danced too. Not really, but yes, really. And the grandmothers danced a bridge to the mountain. Now, they made up the steps as they went. They knew about bridges, about transitions, about descents and caverns and built birth canals. They knew how to bend without breaking, how to step around peril. They knew how to join together to resist, how to join together to prevail. Oh, oh. True North shifted, and you felt it. And everything felt off until you too shifted, until you clicked in. And then with an oh, it was all on again. And when you saw the grandmothers dance past, you followed. You heard the song. You didn't know there was a mountain, or maybe you did. The grandmothers danced backwards so they could look you in the eye and smile at you as you learned the steps, except for that one grandma who made faces to make you laugh. And that one grandma who always looked like she was scowling, but that's just her face. Back off. It didn't always look like a dance. Sometimes it looked like a stumble, like a fall. Well, sometimes that's what it was. Now, some ran away from the dance, refused to dance, scoffed at the dance, got distracted and stopped dancing. You didn't judge them. You just danced. And some were too numb to dance. And you dropped love notes and daffodils and yellow gorse in their path as you danced by. Some denied there was a dance at all. But you saw the grandmothers. You heard the song. So it didn't matter what anyone else said. You danced. You added your own steps, and so did you, and you. And so the dance evolved into a complex diversity of movement and noise and gesture that somehow really worked. And as the grandmothers danced the bridge, they told stories and shouted riddles. They burned frankincense to cleanse and bless the passage because they knew about transitions. They encouraged and affirmed and passed around motherwort and mugwort because they knew about birth canals. They knew what it takes to make it through to the other side, what you go through before you emerge, crying out in pain and joy. And they showed you how to move this way, to bend without breaking, how to move that way, step around peril. They showed you how to join together to resist and how to join together to prevail. And then there was a squeeze, and you thought, oh God, I'm dying. And you were. Oh God, you were dying. You died in that moment, surrounded by dance and song and grandmothers. And in that same moment, you were born. And it was all one. You were right where you had been. Only now you saw the mountain. And you breathed in deeply. And you breathed out the song. Oh.